Hi, Tyler here. Today I want to tell you my story. First of all, I have to say that my sons are YouTubers and they've been telling me for many months now that I should tell you my story. I have been hesitant because people you always think, do I have something to say? Do I have a story to tell? But since I've gotten into making videos about subjects that I cover in my books, I think it's time that I share a bit about myself so you understand where I'm coming from. I know I have a unique perspective, and it helps to know what formed that perspective. So I'd say the first piece to my story happened maybe when I was 11 years old. Uh, I began what I would call a meditation practice. At 11, my mother had been taking TM classes. She brought home this book that had a lot of nice drawings in it of people meditating. And at my age, that clicked with me. So I took up the book and read it and started meditating. One of the key things I remember at that point in my life was they talked about that feeling within, and they said that feeling within never changes. And at that moment, I thought to myself, okay, I'm feeling that feeling within. Let me see if it changes. So that feeling of me within at 11 is exactly the feeling I'm feeling now, 50 years later. Nothing has changed with that feeling. The body obviously has changed. The body has aged dramatically, but that feeling is still that same 11-year-old, that same feeling of me. I can say after that point in time in my life, I was very interested in ESP. I was very interested in the mind and making things happen. I wanted to be an astronaut at the time. I worked hard. I went to MIT, barely got my degree in aerospace engineering, and I let go of my dreams to become an astronaut. I found that I was more interested in the inner world, exploring the inner world, than I was the outer world. When I finished school, I decided that I would be an explorer of my inner world. My meditation practice became very regular. I chose a job that I was able to have time to meditate every day, every night. I was able to focus more of my hours in reading books, and meditating, and exploring. One night, as I was deep in meditation around 2 in the morning, had been meditating for an hour and a half or so by that time, I found thoughts completely stopped. There were no more words in my head, just complete silence, stillness, serenity, contentment. Space was amazing. I said to myself, wow, this is great. And as I said that, I saw the words light up in my head. Wow, this is great. It's like a light came on and off with each word. And then I sat in the stillness and peace. I heard an airplane overhead. My awareness went up to the sky. I felt it all within me. I heard a furnace kick on outside my room, and I felt my awareness expand. It's no longer contained in my body. I was the air in the room, I was the furniture, the closet, all my surroundings. I was them. Just like we think I am the body, I was the room. It's an incredible feeling to know that you're not your body, to experience it. It's one thing for me to read about this, to hear about it, have other people say things about it. It's another to actually experience it yourself. So as I sat in that stillness, that peace, knowing that I was never going to be the same, never see myself the same again, thought came to mind, wow, this is awesome. Another said, why have I not known this before? Another said, I feel like I am awake for the first time. Another said, this is so familiar. And as I thought and I thought and I thought, the thoughts kept coming. And I found my awareness back into the body. Still an amazing feeling, but I was very happy to have had that experience. So incredibly, the next night I went into meditation, and the next night I experienced the same thing again. So if I had thought that I was dreaming or imagining, this was validation that no, I really am not just bound to this body. The ironic part is the next night I went out dancing and I didn't get to meditate. And from that day to this, I've never had quite that same type of experience. I've had other experiences for sure, but never something like that again. From there, I was very curious. What was this that I had experienced? I wanted to know more. I'd read about expanded consciousness, but I wanted more. So I went to the bookstore, spiritual bookstore, found some books that called my name. One was entitled I Have Become Alive, and I felt just like that. So I bought the book, and another book was Play of Consciousness. And as I was paying for the books, the woman who was at the counter, the cashier, she said to me that it was interesting that I picked up two books by the same person. And I hadn't realized that I had. And she said that they have a meditation center in Atlanta where I was living. And she invited me to come that night, Saturday night. So I did. I literally had no interest in chanting and the guru and all of that kind of stuff, meditating with other people. But I said, I'll give it a shot. So I went and I enjoyed myself. It was great. So I went the next Saturday, found out that they were having something in New York where you could meet the guru and get initiation, Kundalini awakening. So I said, sure, this is for me. So a month later, I found myself up in New York having having some very deep meditations, being hit with peacock feathers, being initiated, having no awareness of anything different happening to me. But I had had my Kundalini awaken. That was the assurance I had. So I went back to Atlanta, continued meditating at the center, chanting. Chanting was awesome. Chanting was a way to focus your energy onto one activity, get in the flow state. Then from there, you go into meditation. It was a very good practice for me at the time. And I dove into this for 3 years. Visited New York when I could, visited the guru when I could, meditated daily, chanted with programs, did selfless service. And 3 years later, I found myself in the same space. I didn't know anything more about my experience. I hadn't gotten any other information that told me who I was, what I was, and that was my entire goal, to know who I was, to see who I was. That would, to me, show me my path forward. If you know who you are, you know where you're going. So I started reading books from many other disciplines. Uh, Amazingly, the same cashier who became a good friend by this time, she gave me a book that was by a totally different person with a totally different philosophy. A guy named U.G. Krishnamurti. I believe the book's title is The Mind is the Enemy, or The Mystique of the Mind, one of those titles. Mystique of the Mind? No, it was The Mind is the Enemy. And in this book, he talked about how we don't need a guru, we don't need a meditation practice, we are not people, we're just seeing things completely wrong. Interestingly enough, I'd heard that same phrase, we think we're people, but we're really not. We think we're a person, from my guru. She had said the same thing in a program a couple of years earlier. I wasn't even in the program, I was doing my service, but I could hear at the speakers. That's the phrase she said. And somehow, her saying that then, me reading this now, connected. And that connection was like, ah, it was a light bulb went on. It was incredible. It was like, wow, I really am not a person. I'm not a seeker. And at that moment, personality dissolved. The thought that I was a person exploded. I knew that there was not. There was nothing other than this moment, this awareness, this presence. It was incredible. It is incredible. As I think about it, as I talk about it, I'm back there. And that feeling, there is nobody. The only thing I could do at this moment was laugh. And I laughed. To realize that you're spending all this time and energy trying to find who you are, and the simple act of trying to find is ludicrous. You aren't someone trying to find anything. I came to that realization and I stopped the search at that moment. There was no me to stop the search. The search just stopped. Seeking stopped. From that day to this, there has not been a seeker. I won't say my life has changed in any other way than knowing that there is no person living here anymore. There's just life being lived. Happening happens. When I want to delve into this character that I am, experiencing the life that I lead, I can almost forget. Not quite. When the drama of life becomes a bit much, I can come back into this experience of who I really am, what I really am, being that I am. Giving me a choice. Realization of my inner essence has given me the choice to live this character or live the essence. I didn't choose to go to a mountain, live on a mountaintop in a cave. I chose the householder life. chose to get married, have a family. Say I chose, but again, knowing the truth is it's all happening. There's no I choosing. There's no I to do. Language is funny like that. Sounds really strange when I don't say I, but it's really not a true description of what's going on. So fast forward to a few years ago, I started writing books. I'd sat in this understanding for over 20 years, and I said to myself, it's time to share. It wasn't that I wasn't a sharing person, caring person. It wasn't that I wasn't a caring beingness. It's that when you experience this, it's so natural. You say to yourself, is this anything that people need to know? But I came after 20 years, I decided, yes, I can share this with people. My perspective is useful for some people. So I did. I wrote my first book, How to Become Enlightened in 12 Days. I wrote another book, Enlightenment Now. I wrote a book, I Don't Care. Another, I Do Not Exist and Neither Do You. I wrote, You Are Happiness. So I had a lot of different perspectives on how to explain this. And I tried my best to explain. And when people found out about it, people read. Some people liked it. Some people hated it. From the reviews I got, it seems like probably more people liked it than hated it. It wasn't high literature, but it was very descriptive of what was the experience I had. Fast forward to today, and I am doing videos now, trying to tell more people about this, trying to get those likes and subscribes. The only feedback that you can get. With the book, you can get a sale of people reading. I've got thousands of that, so I know that there are people out there interested in this. With my videos, I need likes, I need subscribes, I need comments to let me know if people are interested in this. I enjoy talking about this. I enjoy sharing. But I do need the feedback to know that there are people out there enjoying it too. I won't go into all of the many meditation experiences I've had, the lights, the sounds, the feelings of bliss. There are amazing, immense experiences that you can have. But ultimately, they're just experiences. They're just happenings. And that's why when I'm talking about this, when I'm writing about this, I don't try to lead you to an experience. I try to lead you to the core understanding that you are this awareness. You are this feeling of beingness. You are the stillness, the space, the now. I use different words for it, but it all comes back to centering you in what you really are. Not a person. You are feeling. You're feeling that the body and the mind hijack into thinking that that feeling is the person. But you're actually that feeling that is everywhere, everything, underlying awe. You are the screen and this is the movie playing on you. That's all I'm trying to tell you. That's all I can tell you from my experience. Had amazing experiences, and they all boil down to showing me, oh, You're not this person you thought you were. You're the background of it all. Simple. Before knowing that, you chop wood, carry water. After knowing, you chop wood, carry water. Life doesn't change. You have the choice of where you are experiencing it from. So that's my story. Thank you. We'll talk again soon.